everyone, I'm Chester44 and welcome to this Let's Play of Neverwinter Nights 2. Last episode we made our way through the Mare of Dead Men to these ruins in order to recover a shard. Our foster father Dagon has told us that we now need to take it to Neverwinter, and we're saying our farewells to everyone. Still a couple people we need to say a farewell to. Let's start with Retta. Ah, it's young Bevel's friend. Thank you for bringing my son back safely from the mare. Bevel is still rather shaken from the attack and the loss of your friend. I'm grateful you were there to watch over him. I understand that you've been sent to Neverwinter, the city of skilled hands. I just pray you fare better than Bevel's brother, Lorne. Is there anything you can do to help me with my journey? I'm afraid I have nothing to give. Those creatures pillaged our house thoroughly. Have you ever been to Neverwinter? I was born there. Bet you didn't know that. My husband met me at a fair. But I hear during the war with Luskan a lot of the city was burned down. Don't listen to that fool Georg Redfell, though. He'd have you think every last building was destroyed. But that's another matter. I think of Neverwinter from time to time. I do miss its streets and the river. I've never left the village. Do you have any advice? Always respect the city watch. They guard the city and they're the law. Just mind the lessons you've learned here. Harbormen are tougher than those city folk. Whatever happened to Lorne? He went to fight in the war with Luskan, right? He's never come back. I don't know if he's dead or alive. A lot of soldiers died during the war with Luskan. I just pray he wasn't one of them. Brother Mering says never give up hope, but it's been such a long time. I just want to know what happened. If he died, it would be good to put him to rest with the rest of his family, given the honor of a proper soldier's burial. If I find out anything, I'll let you know. That would put an old widow's mind at ease. Such a strapping young lad Lorne was. If he's still alive, perhaps he'll want to return home. Bevel has tried to take care for the family in Lorne's stead, but he still misses his elder brother very much, as does the rest of the family. Farewell. Excuse me. And now, Georg. Oh, what story will you have for us?
So, Dagon is sending you to Neverwinter, eh? I can't say I approve. If it were a militia matter, I wouldn't send you alone. But I don't have any right to tell him how to raise his child. Can you at least tell me why you're going? Your father wouldn't tell me a thing.
All I will say is it's for the safety of our village. Why do you want to know?
I lead the militia, so I look after people. That includes you. So, why are you leaving?
I'm taking what the invaders were looking for away from here.
You know what they were looking for? They tore apart half the houses in town. What is it?
Better if you don't know.
You're less cryptic than your father. But not by much. It won't be easy reaching Neverwinter. I've traveled that way once or twice. It's a dangerous journey, especially for one traveling alone. You might want to ask around the village. If you're going to leave, some folks might be able to offer some help.
Can you give me anything to help on the journey?
You may not have trained under me, but I've always enjoyed your company. And you acquitted yourself well with the village defense. Here, take this shield. It's always served me well. And even if you don't use it, you can sell it for some gold that might do you some good.
A shield! That's actually something I'd love to have. What can you tell me about the road to Neverwinter?
The road is as wild as a road can get and still be called a road. And that was before the patrols stopped coming. There's only the one road in the Mare, and that leads to us. There's a small inn on the way. Makes most of his trade off adventurers and the like. Galen, you remember him? The merchant? Well, he says the road is even worse than before. Lizardlings and other creatures have been sighted, and in large numbers.
What can you tell me about Galen?
He's about the only merchant that comes our way. Does it once or twice a year, and thank Joaquin he does. We don't have a blacksmith, so he sells us what we can't make ourselves. With the way he loves to stop and chat, I wouldn't be surprised if you caught up with him.
Why did the patrols along the road stop?
Your guess is as good as mine. All I can say is I wish they'd start up again. Might have prevented the attack on us, or at least given us some warning.
Any news about Neverwinter recently?
Well, you already know about that war they had against Luskan a while back. Nasty business that was. Lost too many Grey Cloaks in that campaign, from what I hear. The whole city was burned to the ground. Every last house.
I hadn't heard the whole city was destroyed.
And that it was. If you go there now, you wouldn't recognize it. It was rebuilt in just over a year. By gnomes, I hear. And the war killed many men. The Watch just doesn't have the numbers they used to. One of the Watch's marshals, though, is a harborman, like you and I. You remember Cormac, right? He sometimes makes his way here.
What sort of dangers are in the swamp?
Lizardlings you already know. Although, the ones around here are the weakest of their lot. So if you see others, expect a tough fight. The swamp beetles and other critters have been more active too. Adar said he saw a whole nest of them not 2 moons back, scuttling around the mare. And lastly, stick to the road. I hear there are spiders, walking dead, and worse, off the road.
Can we talk about something else?
Of course. Like what?
Well, have you heard any stories of the outside world?
So, you want to hear a story? Look out for the swamp elf. You see, an elf never stops growing, and usually they head to Evermeet before they get much bigger than human-sized. But one of the eldest lives in our own swamp. Huge he is, tall as a tree.
Come on, that can't be true.
It's the truth, I say. This giant elf has been known to hurl rocks great distances, and it has the evil eye. If it ever locks eyes on you,
What happens?
it turns you into a stone. Not stone, but a stone. Just look around the swamp, and you'll see hundreds of its victims. And just by looking at them, you can't tell if it's just an ordinary rock, or whether it used to be a man. If you listen quietly, late at night, you can even hear them.
I'll look out for him then.
Just don't look him in the eyes.
Farewell. Ah, the wonderful tales of the small town folk. Oh, yes! We got potion to cure moderate wounds from someone, and a light shield +1. Well, it's certainly something. A shield is definitely needed. Alright. Dagon?
Have you said your farewells?
Anything you can give me to help on the journey, Dagon?
Take anything you need from our home. Speak with the wizard Tarmas as well. He may have a few odds and ends that he'd be willing to part with.
Alright, I'm ready to go.
To get to Neverwinter, take the road that borders the Starling Farm out of town. It is the only road through the Mare of Deadmen, so following it will be easy. The road itself has not been patrolled for some time, and few travel it. Move quickly, and you may be able to avoid the many beasts of the mare.
So I should expect combat?
I suspect you will see your share of battle before you reach Neverwinter. Stray from the road, and the danger is even greater. I've made it known that you travel directly for the city, in the hopes that the enemy will pursue you along the high road. Instead, you will head to the small port town of Highcliff once you are clear of the swamp. From there, you will seek passage on a ship to Neverwinter.
Are you sure there will be ships available?
There is a ship named the Double Eagle that will await you in Highcliff. Her captain, Flynn by name, is a trusted friend of mine and will ferry you safely to the city. Your trip to Neverwinter will be quicker by water, and my attempt at misdirection may allow you to reach Highcliff before the enemy becomes aware of your true route. I have nothing more to say. It is time for you to go, my son. Each moment you remain here brings greater risk to the village.
Very well then. Let us leave. Farewell to our town that we started in. Onwards. And I think we'll be stopping at the Weeping Willow Inn on the way. It'll be a place to rest, I think. Alright. Looks like there's something going on out front.
Now that we're outside, maybe you'd like to tell me what you said again. Slowly this time, so you could think about what you're saying.
You're a small one to be taking this road all by yourself, dwarf. Maybe you've come looking for trouble. Unless you have a little coin to convince us otherwise.
What's going on here?
Nothing that concerns you. This is between us and the dwarf, and whatever coin he happens to have with him.
Ah, you're welcome to try to take it if you're all game. You all can't be frightened of one little dwarf, can you? If you're afraid of being humiliated in front of the stranger here, well, now that's another matter.
We're not frightened of either of you, and it seems to me you need to learn a lesson.
Calm down. This isn't worth someone's life.
This matter is between us and the dwarf here. It's none of your concern.
Come on. Someone tried to hit me already. Even the newcomer here sees that you're all too afraid to do anything.
All right, I've heard enough of this. Come on, boys. Let's deal with the dwarf and his new friend.
All right, then. Great. I guess we're beating up a bunch of guys trying to rob a dwarf. Less beaten up, more killing.
Well now, that was a good fight. A shame they had to resort to weapons. But if they have to keep the odds even, can't blame them too much. Name's Khelgar, by the way, of the clan Ironfist. I've been making my way along the coast for some time now. Stopped in the Willow here for a brief fight.
I'm sorry, a fight? You stopped into a bar for a fight? Oh boy. I'm Travis Ignam. Glad I could even the odds for you.
Ha! Even the odds? They didn't stand a chance in the first place. Obviously, you haven't heard of me. So, tell me, what brings you out along the mare? Roads aren't exactly safe, you know, and they're getting worse all the time.
I'm actually on my way to Neverwinter.
Seems it's your lucky day, then. I happen to be traveling to Neverwinter as well.
Really? Why are you going there?
Now that's a tale. Oh, glad you asked. But can't discuss it without a tankard or two, I think. I say we step inside the Weeping Willow here and share our stories over a few of the innkeeper's best.
Sure, why not?
So then I punched him in the face for asking. And while he was trying to pick his teeth off the floor, his friend decided to add a few choice words about my heritage. So I punched him too. So to make a long story short, I take pride in what I do, fighting. It's something you can't get enough of, and it's something where there's always room for improvement if you apply yourself, stay focused, and keep swinging. And that's why I'm headed to Neverwinter. I heard there's a house of monks there. A monastery, right? I heard they'll train anyone, just for the asking. Couldn't ask for a better opportunity.
You want to become a monk? Why Neverwinter? There must be plenty of monasteries around.
If you know of a closer one that'll train for free, well, I'm all ears. Just as long as I get that monk training.
A monk?
Aye, that's the short of it.
A dwarven monk?
No stranger than half of what takes place in Faerun. I can tell you that.
You have a point.
Well, as it happens, I didn't always want to become a monk. What happened was that...
The Khelgar, find it.
Well, look at this. Our next round of practice just arrived. Time for a little fun.
Oh, great. It's these guys again. You take on those two. I'll do what I can to save the patrons.
Take that! Take that!
Okay. Good news is I think we got him down. Should have been using this war axe you have. No, you shouldn't be looting that. You should. Please, I need help. Please, someone help me. There are more of those foul beasts upstairs. They have my husband trapped. How many more are up there? I don't know. A lot, though. They seem to be looking for something. Please, help. My husband is in danger. I'll take care of them. Stay here where it's safe. Oh, you seem to have a knack for finding trouble, Travis. I don't go looking for these fights, Khelgar. Heh, even better. The fights come to you. Let's work that way. Thank you so much, sir. Please hurry. I'm afraid of what the creatures might do to him. Influence gained with Khelgar. Yeah, Khelgar Ironfist here. He is our first actual companion. Bevel was just a tutorial guy in the starting area, like Amy. But Khelgar, yes. Khelgar is gonna be a good partner. Now let's get up there.
This one's mine.
Oh, there's a lot of them around here. Khelgar, you seem to be doing well for yourself. Oh, he's got Great Cleave. Very nice. Okay, that's a whole bunch of them dealt with. Oh, wait, I thought he was dead. Okay, now he's dealt with. Wait. Something is on the other side of this door. Hold on. I definitely hear more fighting in here.
This one's mine.
Could use a healing potion here. Yeah, let's deal with these first.
Take that!
Just gotta kill this guy. Knockdown, that should be good.
Take that!
Nice. Still hear some fighting.
Let's see what they're...
Okay. I think we killed all of them. Alright, let's investigate these rooms.
This one's mine.
Bash our way into each of these. Leave the broken items. I don't think they're actually worth anything.
They will die.
Armoire in here, and there's another one in here. Fortunately, they're not locked. Probably should have held on to the Thunderstone. It's a special item. Let's see here. Please don't hurt me. Calm down. No one's going to hurt you. You won't hurt me? I should thank you then. Those things were ready to tear me apart when you showed up. Who are you? I'm Zachan. Have you seen my wife, Jera? She ran off when the attack started. I stayed here and hid. Your wife is fine. She's waiting for you downstairs. Oh, thank the gods. But is it safe to leave? If there are any more of those creatures? They've been dealt with. I had some questions for you first. Anything, but please hurry. I must get out of here. What were you doing here? My wife and I were staying here for a few days before continuing on our way to Neverwinter, but those creatures attacked while we were getting ready to leave. Gera got away, but I was too scared to move. I hid under the bed, hoping they wouldn't see me. Those creatures, do you know anything about them? I don't know. I've never seen anything like them before. They attacked so suddenly we barely had time to react. Do you know why the creatures attacked? I have no idea. I couldn't make out anything they were saying except for one thing. They kept talking about something called a Kalak Cha, whatever that is. They seemed determined to find it. You can leave. It's safe now. It is? Oh, bless you. I can't believe I'm still alive. Thank you, thank you. Indeed. And now, over to this side, where it seems we have a familiar face in here. Oh, thank you for your assistance. I was beginning to think there was no end to those creatures. Aren't you the merchant that was in West Harbor recently? That I am. I try to make the trip twice a year. Not a lot of competition yet, and quite a healthy amount of gold to be made, too. Wait, I've seen you before. Dagon's child from West Harbor, am I right? Yes, that's right. Good folk, you harbormen. Strong, resilient, and you pay well for my goods. I make a tidy sum whenever I stop by. Isn't the trip to West Harbor dangerous? Why do you think I'm traveling with these guards? Even with the additional cost, though, my visits to West Harbor are always profitable. And I admit to having a certain fondness for your village. Living in a swamp requires a certain stubbornness, after all. I have some questions I'd like to ask you. I'll tell you what I can. I hope you understand if I don't wish to tarry here, though. What do you like to know? Excuse me. Do you know what these creatures were looking for? Nothing that would be of any value to me, I assure you. Something called a Kalak Cha. To be honest, the reason for their curiosity was not exactly a concern of mine. Most everything else they said was gibberish to me anyhow. Is there anything else? Can you tell me anything about the road to Highcliff? Oh, the usual warnings. Lizard folk seem to have spread further north. The usual bandit troubles. You can rest briefly at Fort Locke, of course. The fort was in a bit of disarray when I last made a stop on the way to West Harbor. Something about their commander gone missing. Lost patrols. Very unpleasant. And refugees have begun trickling in. I assume it's due to the lizard folk migration. Is there anything else? No, farewell. The men and I should be leaving anyhow. It seems I'd be safer resting on the road tonight. Thank you again for your assistance. I do hope that the next time we meet will be under better circumstances. Here's to hoping. Let's go downstairs and let him know that we've managed to do well. And save the inn. You've done it! Please, take this gold with our thanks. We'll be forever grateful. Thank you. I'm glad I was able to help. Thank you again for seeing my husband to safety. We shall remember you in our prayers. Oh, we'd best be moving on. I don't mind the fight, but I don't like bringing others into our battles. Of course. Let's just speak with this Jorik first. Looks like you were lucky to have you and your dwarf friend here. You will always be welcome here at the Weeping Willow. Those who survived owe you their lives. I'm glad I could help. Nothing like this has ever happened before. Wish I knew what those creatures were looking for. This is a fine establishment you have here. It certainly is. The name's Jorik. I rebuilt this place with my own two hands. I've got the only warm beds between West Harbor and Fort Locke. Only problem is the roads are too dangerous for travelers nowadays. You mind if I ask you some questions? Oh, ask away. Can't say that I know much about the goings-on in the mare. Do you know if this attack was related to the one at West Harbor? West Harbor? Oh, I didn't know about that. Why would anyone want to attack a swamp village? I was hoping you'd know. Sorry, but if this attack's related, I couldn't tell you how. West Harbor. Something strange is definitely going on in the mare. Why do you say that? Well, lizard folk and bandit archers attacks are common enough. They both know better than to attack West Harbor. You harbormen have earned your reputation for being tough. Whoever or whatever's behind all this obviously isn't from around here. Everyone knows not to mess with that village. Indeed. Thank you very much. I'll take that as a compliment. You can't even guess at what the creatures were looking for? Can't help you there. You heard the same thing I did. But if this Khelgar Chai is, I certainly don't have it. Have you heard anything about what lies up ahead on the road? Aye, none of it good. The garrison at Fort Lock has top patrols along the road for some reason. They certainly picked a bad time to do so. A lot of attacks on travelers by lizard folk lately. And you know about strange attacks in my inn. Why did the fort stop sending patrols? Oh, you'd have to ask them yourself. They just stopped showing up. Maybe the lizard folk have gotten so bad they've got their hands full just holding their ground. I also hear there might be a new commander at the fort. If that's the case, he might not think patrolling the mare is important enough. Any idea where these lizard men are coming from? Oh, your guess is as good as mine. They didn't used to be too common. Oh, sure, you'd hear the occasional story about an ambush, but all in all, the lizard folk tended to keep to themselves. There have been plenty of sightings lately, though, and the lizards have gotten plenty aggressive. Something might be forcing them north, but I couldn't tell you what that was. Maybe they have a lair nearby. Yeah, possibly. Word is they always run off to the east after an attack. Maybe that's where they're holed up. Most folk have enough common sense not to go chasing after them if they live through an attack. Any other news that you've heard? Curious one, aren't you? Well, I did hear that the high road to Neverwinter is pretty much off limits now until the patrols are started up again. Something about bandits. I don't see why it's any different from the usual roadside thievery, but then again, I don't get out at the mare much. And the village of Highcliff is having some problems. Of course, they're on the coast, so there's always problems. What kind of problems? Pirates, storms. Just being on the coast makes you a target for Lustians, if nothing else. I thought Luskin was far to the north. You must have heard about the recent war Luskin had with Neverwinter, and even I've heard about their new war with Ruathim. The Luskins are always looking for an excuse for a scrap, and they don't seem to care how far they have to go to find one either. Who's Ruathim? Some island, probably pirates as well. I don't really care as long as they keep the Luskins busy. What can you tell me about the Luskin war with Neverwinter? Not too much, to be honest, except that it ended in a stalemate. I hear Neverwinter and Luskin have emissaries with each other again, though who knows how long that'll last. Why'd you build an inn out here in the swamp? I didn't actually build it. The building was already here, I just fixed it up. After poking around for a while, I learned that there used to be a village here. This building was the only one that survived. What happened to the village? Destroyed during the war against the King of Shadows. Big war, from what I understand. Fought all across the mare. Lots of fighting up around Fort Lock as well. You can still find relics strewn around the area. Does Fort Lock still stand? Aye, it's still standing. That fort's managed to survive worse things than a war. You can find it north of here. The fort still guards the road between the mare and the northern lands, though not as much as they used to with the troubles. You mentioned relics? Nothing to get excited about from what I hear. Mostly interesting to scholars, though they'd have a hard time getting to any of the relics. Why do you say that? Word is that the spirits from the battle still haunt the places where they fell. Now, I don't normally believe ghost stories, but this is the mare. Anything can happen out here. Even dark dwarves attacking a small inn. What do you know about Neverwinter? I've heard the same stories everyone else has. The city's getting back on its feet after that business with the plague. The usual stories about what a great leader Lord Nasher is, along with the other stories about nobility, don't interest me much, to be honest. I visited the city a while back. Big place. Lots of things to waste your money on. Crowded, noisy. I prefer the quiet of the mare. What's this about a plague? Something to do with a cult of false priests poisoning the city. It was taken care of, though, and that's all that matters. It's old news. I wasn't paying much attention even back then, and I've forgotten most of what I did know. Sorry. Alright, let me see what you have for sale, because I want to sell these things. Thunderstone's another consumable like the Alchemist Fire. There is a whole bunch of gear that we can buy if we wished. Harbinger Kin. This weapon bears the mark of the dwarf Marok. It's a greatsword. Okay. Oh, it's one of the weapons that helped with the Wailing Death. Interesting. White's Morning Star. There's a tiny bit of electrical damage. Parry bonus. Nothing I need. Magic Pouch. How much gold do we have? I mean, we could afford it. We can start storing some things in there. Yeah, what the hell. We'll be able to store things in here. I'll take it. Excuse me. Excuse me. And I'll give that to you. There. I think that works. Spent a little bit of gold, but it's fine. And now we'll give a rest, and that is where I am going to end this episode, because I'm pretty sure it's gone on long enough. Yeah, it definitely has. Next episode, we'll get out of here and make our way north, but I think we also should probably talk with this Khelgar Ironfist again, see if he has any more information to give us. But that'll be in the next episode, so until then, I'm Chester44, that is Travis Ignam and Khelgar Ironfist. This has been a Let's Play of a Neverwinter Nights, and I shall see you all next time.